Alright, we're getting ready to do the last little bit of the jerky. This is the last of everything. This is anything that came out of the shanks, trimmings off of anything that didn't go into hamburger pretty much is going into jerky. Normally I would do this on a smoker, but we're trying a different smoke, liquid smoke. This has got a lot of mesquite in it and I didn't want to add any more actual smoke to it. So we did this batch in the oven, the last batch in the oven. This batch is also in the oven. And give me a second here and I'll show you exactly how we go through it. Super simple. I'll leave the recipe in the description and give me a minute, we'll go right at it. Okay, so after it's soaked in the marinade, all you got to do here, and I'm going to turn on a little bit of water. Rinse this down. You can just take the meat out. I don't know if that's going to be too loud or not, and we'll rinse it off in a minute. You just got to take the meat out and squeeze it. Just squeeze what juice you can out of it. Hope this is showing up in the camera. Jerky meat, I don't tend to worry as much about the silver and stuff as I do into my hamburger and stuff, because I just don't. People expect it to be a little tough. This is really tender though. This has aged for quite a bit. You basically, all you're doing is just wringing the juice out of it is all you're doing. Try and get it fairly dry. You don't want to take too much off of it. Take too much of the flavor off if you squeeze too much of the liquid out of it. And then there's going to be a lot of jerky here. We've had a lot. That's the end of it here. Okay, rinse this out, rinse my hands out. Okay, for this next part, you're going to want to put tin foil down or something down that is going to cover anything you don't want a mess on. So, I don't normally do it this way. Down here, I'm trying to figure out the best angle to show what's going on here. Like I said, these are all the trim pieces. So anything like this that was extra got done. Just wanted to use everything we can. If there's any piece of silver on it that's just hanging, go ahead and get it off there if you want. But you're simply just going to take a toothpick and stick it on the rack. And sometimes you can get 2 on 1 toothpick. I put all of the smaller stuff up front because it's going to cook a little bit faster being smaller. So we just move it up front. And the trick is to not have the meat touch the wires and not have the meat touch the meat. So anything that gets a little bit longer, I'll stick towards the back. Like this is a bit of a longer piece. We're going to stick that in the back here. Here's a nice piece. This is going to make a nice chewy piece. Tender but chewy, if you understand what I mean. Like the chewy jack links. That's what I'm thinking of. Those are the kind that I like. So any of these flat ones I'm probably going to snatch for myself. Anything else, the rest of them, everybody else will eat. And then if you find out that there's a little bit too much silver here and there, after it's been sitting in this brine, it's tender, super tender, and most of it will just come off super easy. So it makes it a lot easier to work with after it's been tenderized in this brine. So we'll move this up front. It's a little bit smaller piece. Alright, let me get this done and I'll get back to you. Okay, you can kind of get an idea of why you put the tin foil down. Just to help catch anything that's dripping off the thing. You can space these out as far as you want them. It don't matter. But that's kind of what it looks like up in there. And some people are going to ask too, why am I using all these little scrap pieces and everything? It's because we don't like to waste any of the meat, for one. And for two, we still eat it. I mean, it still tastes good, still venison. Any of the more prime cuts that we've done from the what got turned into jerky earlier, they go as gifts. Give them away to people. We just want to make sure that, you know, we utilize everything that we can out of the deer. And some people might think it's overboard, but we still eat it. And Logan's crazy. I did some few years ago and got tied up doing something, and they turned into literal pieces of bricks. It was harder than the toothpicks, and Logan still ate it. So, I mean, we'll eat whatever is left out for jerky. Crazy jerky family, I guess, you know. So all you're gonna do now, let me try to adjust this camera here real quick. Well, first of all, let's get us closed up here. Okay, the next thing you're going to want to do here is to put this on bake, and then we take it down to the lowest your oven will go, anywhere between 100 and 200, and I think mine goes at 170 is the lowest we can get it. Yep, 170. Start. Just going to preheat, let it go through the preheat. Once it hits the preheat, I set the timer for 2 hours. One thing you want to make sure that you do is take a hot pad, double it up, or a couple of hot pads. I'm not going to use our coffee ones because she'll shoot me, but to prop the door, you want to make sure this door gets propped. We generally just use a wooden spoon. Stick a wooden spoon in there. What it does is let the air flow, and the top of that door is not dirty, just saying. Okay, let this preheat. We'll set the timer, and then we'll get back to you guys. Okay, we've come up to temperature, and we're going to set the timer for that's what we 2 hours. 2 hours and 10 minutes. Alright, see you back here in 2 hours and 10 minutes. Okay, it's been 2 hours now, and the front is getting pretty well, which we knew they was going to. Getting pretty well dried up. I'm going to give these ones another 30 minutes in the front and probably another hour in the back at least. And then we'll come back here and see what we got. Okay, so trying to finish this video has just been like short of a nightmare. End up having some things come up, had to shut down the oven, and then me and Logan took all the toothpicks out. We ended up with 3 quart bags, and then Logan just came in and left for his skill center, his welding classes, and decided to take 1.5 bags with him so that he could give out jerky to his friends. So, but the jerky turned out great. I think there's a total of probably 4 hours. I stopped it then because it's still pliable. The only one in this house that will eat anything any more than this is Logan. Like I said earlier, he'll eat them, you know, harder than the toothpicks are. So this is what it looks like when it's finished. This particular brine that we put on there darkens the meat up quite a bit. That's why it looks so dark. Alright, well, I apologize for not getting the video done exactly the way that I wanted it finished, but it's done. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, the recipe for the brine will be in the description, and I'll probably end up throwing it at the beginning of the video too. But it's one of the best recipes that we've came up with. I know some people use some stuff from Cabela's and different places, and that's all good and everything, but that recipe is the one everybody here likes the most anyways. So don't forget to like and subscribe, all that good stuff on there. We have some contests coming up pretty soon for subscribers, so if you're watching this and you haven't subscribed yet, do it now, because it's the only way you're going to get into the contest is to be a subscriber. So alright, until later, appreciate you watching, thank you, and have a great day.